now I have found another person, and I think it's very important to hear some words from him. He made a fantastic press conference 20 minutes ago, and I asked him if he make an interview with me, but it's not a normal interview. He wants to speak about his person, about his thinking, about his scientistwarning.org, and what he think about the COP, and what he think you in Hamburg must do to change that we can save our planet. Sorry, that was my first statement, and now the stage is yours.
Okay, now, if you can disassemble that into pieces, how do you want me to go first, second, and third? And then you can, what would you like me to touch on first, or just free form?
Okay.
Free form?
Free form, that would be fine.
Let me start with what people in Hamburg should be doing first. First, you have to be breaking your notion that the mainstream narrative of climate change has any resemblance to reality. I say the mainstream narrative. Der Spiegel, Bloomberg, New York Times, CNN, the narrative they present is one of the policymakers, the governments, the diplomats. They're handling this, don't worry. We'll get it. Yes, things are urgent, but we can handle it. We can still stay beneath 2 degrees, maybe even 1.5. It's complete, utter bullshit. I've started saying that diplomacy is the art of saying strong-sounding things that have no meaning. And that's what we're hearing at the COP. There are good actors who are trying sincerely to bring the bad actors along. The problem is the bad actors have all the power. The bad actors are governments like mine, completely, thoroughly corrupt governments like the United States, governments like Russia, governments like the incoming one in Brazil, that will be intentionally, for money, for personal gain and benefit, will be destroying the planet. Either knowingly or not knowingly, they will be intentionally destroying the planet. This is deeply despicable. I don't think we can put any hope in the climate negotiations. I only come here because the UN provides me with the facilities to create a TV program, which I this year started calling scientistswarning.tv, and that is the link to find our programs, past, present, and future, on the internet. Last year I called it climatematters.tv. This year I've upped the urgency. It's scientistswarning.tv, because we've been warned by scientists for years, nothing new. 25 years ago, a group of scientists issued a World Scientists Warning to Humanity. It was published online by the Union of Concerned Scientists. It received good attention. It had been signed by 1,700 scientists from around the world. Nothing has been done since. With the exception of handling the problem of the ozone layer, very little else was done. 25 years later, in late 2017, a different group of scientists wrote a peer-reviewed article this time. 8 co-authors published it. It had been signed by over 15,000 scientists at publication, holds an all-time record. An additional 8,000 have signed since. It is a mind-boggling document, and it is still not urgent enough because scientists need to maintain an objectivity. Well, I have disavowed that objectivity. I am going to go subjective. If the house is on fire, it's time to scream fire. Scientists are chided whenever they tell policymakers what they should do. I don't have to obey that restriction. I can tell policymakers not only what they should be doing, what they have to do, but that they're fucking liars. I don't think I can be arrested for calling a Trump a fucking liar. You know, I only this year started to resort to using vulgarity. I was very clean in my language until One of the people who commented on one of my videos said, the scientists should be saying, I'm fucking tired. And I published that only so I could respond to him. And he made the point back to me that the point is, using a vulgarity is like a cut. It wakes you up. It's like, and he wanted scientists to step outside of civility and say, this is fucking important. And he taught me something, so I will resort to the occasional vulgarity to make the point. There was a movie called Network that came out in the US years ago. Fairly popular movie at the time. I urge you to go see it, to rent a copy. Network. It was about, well, the dramatic highlight was when a TV newscaster who had been dismissed, had been fired that day. After 25 years of loyal service, he was fired because his ratings had gone down. He came in that night in a trench coat, and he was obviously, and he said, I want you to get mad as hell and go to the window and throw it open and yell, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to change it anymore. And the people in the control booth asked the boss, should we cut it off? Should we cut him off? And she said, no, wait. She let him go on because the ratings zoomed. Our media, except for the occasional independent journalist, I say occasional because most of the media is owned by the majors, the occasional media, independent media journalist will tell the truth, will dare to tell the truth, but be drowned out by the New York Timeses of the world. The mainstream media is also part of, I won't call it a conspiracy, I'll call it a complacency. They are all motivated by the same regime of money that controls all of the policymakers in all of the nations of the world. Even the small island states are hesitant to speak out because they usually have a patron. For instance, the Federated States of Micronesia, I believe Australia is their patron. They can't get too vocal because Australia will cut their chain. Money runs the world. You need to face up to the fact that money runs the world and money is destroying humanity because as a viral thought form, it has no concept that it is killing the host. We are the host for the virus of money. We need to free ourselves of that. How do you free yourself of that? Start making decisions not based upon how much it costs, but based on what lies behind it. So yes, buy biological foods, spend a little bit more, spend more time, spend more money to take a train than a flight if you're going from Hamburg to Barcelona. Enjoy the ride, do some work, play the internet, The point is we have to stop the control of money in our own lives and spread that to others. The only way I can see our surviving is if we disrupt this viral thought form of money that has captured our bankers, our politicians, our media. If we disrupt it, then we may survive.
That was a very nice statement, and I liked very much. Thanks from Hamburg, and I wish you a nice day.